What is up, everyone? Renvale here, and welcome to the first episode of the Discovering Pathfinder series here on YouTube. If you didn't watch my previous series, the Discovering Starfinder series, there's an introductory video to this entire series where it explains everything in greater detail. But the short version is that I'm a complete noob to Pathfinder as of this recording. And with the Starfinder series, I learned about it while reading the core rulebook in a public setting over a course of multiple episodes. And I'm doing the same thing here with Pathfinder, offering you, the experts on Pathfinder, the opportunity to comment down below and let me know if there are online resources that will help answer the questions I might have, or if you yourself have the answers to those questions. I look forward to hearing all of them as I learn everything about this new system, new to me anyway, of Pathfinder. I believe this is second edition, yes. So thanks to that. And if you're new, like me, and you've never played Pathfinder before, you'll hopefully be able to be educated as we go through this video. And I discover Pathfinder with all of you here in video format. So today, I have the PDF open. I downloaded it in individual segments from the Paizo website. So we start off with this beautiful, beautiful piece of cover art, which is depicting some form of a fight against goblinoid-looking creatures. Um, Pretty stoked by what I see right there. But going back to, as we scroll down through here, I don't want to show off too much of the art because obviously this art is from the book and they want you to buy the book. So we will periodically show stuff for the purpose of fair use and discussion and everything else. But obviously, we don't want to show everything off. So we're scrolling through. There's some really good um, artwork here. I love this image that starts. There's a section here where we get a paragraph. Looks like a lore snippet. It's right before chapter 1, the introduction. Um, with a haunting moan, shambling bodies rose up from the forgotten battlefield. Given foul unlife by the necromancy of the whispering tyrant, the corpses still wore the tattered raiment of their former lives. Their crusades had been first to stand against the Lich King when he returned, and they were the first to fall in his rebirth. So there's a whole story snippet here that we're getting to read through at the very beginning of this. Okay, we get a name here. We get Kira Mariciel. Valeros. So Valeros. Eridon is dead. Valeros spat out the dead god's name like a curse. He's not coming back to save us this time. Okay, so these are the three heroes. So I'm going to show the image here real quick. It's these three heroes, and it's telling a story about them. So apparently we have Valeros, Kira, Mariciel, and it says Kira's crying out a prayer to her goddess Sarenrae. Now I vaguely remember some of these names from having played the Pathfinder game by Owlcat. Kingmaker and Wrath of the Covenant, but I also am not intimately familiar with these, so I just remember vaguely the name. Okay. Chapter 1, Introduction. This is a pretty standard thing here, giving us an introduction to everything I am most interested in. Okay. Yeah, this is all standard stuff that's for all games have this. Basics of play. Okay. I know there's some uniqueness to Pathfinder in the 3-action rules set, I think is what it's called. So I'm going to be learning about this, but this looks like it's an introductory section. So this video will just be called the introduction section of the book, probably because you can see here, we're literally reading this part here that's walking us through the, defining characters. PCs range from level 1 to level 20. They gain experience points. Okay. Ability scores. Of course. Yep. Playing the game. Most of your character's time is spent in exploration. It says here, the age of lost omens abounds with danger. So that's the age that we're in. Okay. Hopefully we're going to see lore about what the Age of Lost Omens is. It says time moves quickly with characters enjoy downtime, a respite from the world's troubles. So that's I think we just played through Starfinder, and that was like the they have the 10-minute thing and then take 20 and so on and so forth. Okay, you got DCs, modifiers, proficiencies. You've got untrained, trained, expert, master, and legendary. Okay. Exploration, encounters. Okay, this I probably need to read. In the course of your adventures, there will be times when a simple skill check is not enough to resolve a challenge. Encounters are more structured. There's initiative, of course. Rounds, which account for about 6 seconds of time. Okay. Then the turns within a round. You can take up to 3 actions. Most simple things: drawing a weapon, moving a short distance, opening a door, swinging a sword, use a single action to perform. There are also activities that use more than a single action, usually special abilities. That makes total sense. A common activity is casting a spell, which usually uses 2 actions. Also, I noticed that when we were playing Starfinder, I was surprised, and also recently playing Pathfinder Kingmaker, spellcasting, I mean, it's an interruptible, provokes an attack of opportunity, which was surprising. Um, that's quite it's quite rough. So you got to be very conscious of spells taking 2 actions. Free actions such as dropping an object don't count towards the 3 actions you can take. Finally, so here's a question for the experts in Pathfinder. Does that mean that there's an unlimited amount of free actions that I can take at any given time? So can I take 20 free actions during a turn, or you just get one? Like you get one free action, but it says here, well, it just says that free actions don't count towards the 3 actions you can take in a round. But is there a hard limit on how many free actions you could take during a round? That's a genuine question from a complete newbie. Then there's one reaction. It says they can use up to 1 reaction. Does that mean you don't have to use reactions if you don't want to? Can you convert a reaction into something else? Reactions can be used even when it's not your turn, but only in response to certain events, and only if you have the ability that allows it. The strike action requires an attack roll against the armor class if that's a DC. You can use more than one strike action on your turn, but each additional attack after the first becomes less accurate. This is reflected by multiple attack penalties. It starts at -5 on the second attack and a -10 on the third. Oh, that is awesome. I like that. So in your 3 action system, if you want to dedicate 3 actions to 3 attacks, boom, 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 you can do so, but at the expense of, accuracy essentially. -10 is pretty beefy. If your character finds themselves the target of magic or breath weapon, you'll be called upon to make a saving throw. Okay, how does saving throws work in this game? There's a fortitude throw when your character's health or vitality is under attack, a reflex throw when you're dodging away from danger, and a will saving throw, which is against spells and things that affect your mind. So those are 3 different types of saves: fortitude, reflex, and will. Then there's conditions. Okay, so that section right there, everybody, like this whole section on the 3 action system. By the way, this is a really cool piece of artwork here. But this is what I was just reading through. This is very useful, very informative for me because this is the core of combat. And of course, later on in this book, they're going to talk about things in greater detail, but this is a great first step. All right, downtime. You're recovering from wounds or pursuing a trade. Time passes quickly while characters work towards long-term tasks or objectives. Most characters can practice a trade in their downtime, but those with the right skills can instead spend time crafting to make new gear. Okay, you can also retrain. replacing one character choice with another to reflect. Oh, that's really cool. To reflect their evolving priorities. Okay, this part of it, I've played D&D a lot over the years, and I don't remember there ever being a system whereby you could um, retrain your character. Obviously, you can redefine what spells you have memorized and so on and so forth. But the actual, removal of a point and have it go towards something else, of a skill and have it go towards that's really cool. It says character choice, so I'm assuming later on it's going to define what a character choice is during the character creation process. I'm assuming things that are like choose a feat, choose a combat ability, things like that will be like, okay, you can take one of those that you opted to have and change it out for something else. Key terms you need to know. I'm already familiar with most of these. Ancestry is race. Yes, ancestry is race. Um, Background is pretty obvious. Class, conditions, currencies, feats, game master. Golarion. Pathfinders sit on the planet Golarion during the Age of Lost Omens. It is an ancient world with a rich diversity of people and cultures, exciting locations to explore, and deadly villains. More information, here we go. More information on the Age of Lost Omens, the world of Golarion, and its deities can be found in Chapter 8. Awesome. Yeah. Perception, saving throws. These are all common terms that I'm familiar with. There's an example of play here. So Valeros is a human fighter, Marisil is an elven rogue, and Kira is a human cleric of Sarenrae. So this is a fairly... I'm just scanning through here. Rogues have the ability to deal extra damage to foes that haven't acted yet in an encounter. That's interesting. The extra damage also applies to attacks against enemies that are distracted. So it's a d6 for the sneak attack stuff. Okay. And then dex bonus. Okay, so they're making a religion check during the middle of the fight. Paralyzation. This is a pretty cool combat encounter. Like that was pretty cool. You know what might be fun to do? I might read through that and maybe I can create a piece of content around that. I'll think about that. Ancestries and backgrounds. Says the rules for most common ancestries in the Age of Lost Omens are in this chapter. Oh, it's breaking things down for me here. Okay, so chapter 1's introduction, which is what I'm reading through right now. Chapter 1. Matter of fact, we might even call... Hell, you know what's going to be an easy way to do this series? Is just break it down on the chapters that they have here. And then if we need to break it down beyond that, we can go like chapter 8.2, chapter 8.5. I'm liking how we're going to do this. So this one's just going to be chapter 1, introduction. Chapter 2, ancestries and backgrounds. Chapter 3, classes. Chapter 4, skills. Chapter 5, feats. Chapter 6, equipment. Chapter 7, spells. Chapter 8, the Age of Lost Omens, which is going to be the very important chapter for me to learn about the lore and everything else. There's a timeline of events. And then the deity rules. Chapter 9 is playing the game. Chapter 10 is if you're going to be a game master. Chapter 11 is crafting and treasure. And then we have the appendices. Oh, and they give me, this is cool. There's they're showing me what these icons mean. So they have some actual icons laid out in the chat. This is really cool. This is very well laid out. Single action, 2 action activity, 3 action activity, reaction, free action. What's up, everybody? Commercial break here. I got to give a shout out to our guild champions. It's the highest tier membership here on YouTube. We got Ancient Entity, Craziest Relative, and Remy D. Thanks so much for your support. And of course, to all of the members here on YouTube, thanks for keeping me on the air full time. If you do like what you see and hear on my channel, don't forget to not only like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, but please support. Consider me your Netflix, your Hulu, your Disney Plus, or HBO, whatever you want to call it. You can do memberships here on the channel starting at $3 a month. And of course, anytime you see me live or you watch a premiere, you can do super chats and stickers on those videos, and super thanks on any upload you see, which allows me to keep doing this full time and paying the bills. So from Chris and I and all of our rescue cats, we say thank you. Let's get back to the video at hand. Understanding actions. Single action, use this symbol. Reactions, use this symbol. Free actions, use this symbol. They don't require any of your three single actions or your reaction. Free action might have a trigger like a reaction does. If so, just use it like a reaction, even if it's not your turn. However, you can only use one free action per trigger. So if you have multiple free actions with the same trigger, you have to decide which to use. If a free action doesn't have a trigger, use just like a single action with just without spending any of your actions for the turn. Okay. Activities are special tasks that you complete by spending one or more of your actions together. Usually an activity uses two more actions and lets you do more than a single action would allow. Casting is one of the most common activities as most spells take more than a single activity to cast. Activities that use these two actions use this symbol. Okay. Okay. All tasks that take longer than a turn are activities. If an activity is meant to be done during exploration, it has the exploration trait. That's useful to know. And anything that takes a day or more of commitment and can only be done during downtime has the downtime trait. Useful to know. Also kind of complex. We got a stat block thing here. We've got um, prereqs, frequency, trigger, and requirements. These all sound pretty standard. Any special that has to be associated with it. Um, so there's a character creation section here. I love the fact that when I was growing up, by the way, getting into D&D, this is before, just realized that you can see the bottom screen there, so I don't have the lights on. I need to fix that fold. Cats, man. Anyway, if you remember when back in the day, like getting a hold of D&D character sheets was really hard. Not everyone had a printer. Um, that was not an easy thing to get a hold of in the pre-internet days. Like getting readily available copies of character sheets. So it was really cool when the move to digital happened. We had the internet and home printers and everything else. You could just print out your print out your character sheets and have fun with them that way. And I'm a big fan of digital character sheets now. Like being able to access it on my mobile or a tablet device is really helpful, or on the computer. There's two main groups of ability scores here: physical and mental. Okay, these are standard. Excuse me. Each ancestry provides ability boosts and sometimes a flaw. There are also voluntary flaws. There's a background, which provides two ability boosts. The class section provides an ability boost to the ability score most important to your class, which is your key ability score. Then determine four more ability boosts of your choice. I feel like the character creation thing is going to be its own. I'm going to hold off on this, actually, everybody. The character creation section looks pretty in-depth, and I'm already 18 minutes into this, and I don't want to turn this into a 45-minute long episode. I'm looking here at the character creation section, and it's multiple pages, and I want to properly give this. I mean, look at this. They've got all these ancestries laid out. This looks awesome. That's so cool. Um, So that's going to be the next episode, everybody. We'll do character creation next time. So this is chapter 1, and then the next one will be chapter 1.1. Something like that. Um, I don't know how I'll title the episodes yet. We'll figure it out. In any case, if you liked the way I did this presentation and you want to find out more as I uncover Pathfinder, or you want to be the expert that drops amazing tips for me to find out more information, online places to go for places to pull information from, online archives and stuff, please drop those down in the comments below. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And hopefully, we're all going to have fun as we get deeper into Pathfinder. I did buy the Humble Bundle at the beginning of the year, which had like 40 books or so. It had ridiculous amounts of books and a bunch of adventure packs and everything else. And, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I know there's been discussions I've been having with some folks about maybe doing Pathfinder at some point um, later. But nudge, nudge, wink, wink. In the meantime, this will definitely take me a few months to get through the core rulebook. I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully you're along for the journey. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy gaming.